Jan has worked with BLE beacons since 2019, and he'll walk us through real-world applications of connected tech and agriculture. Please, the stage is yours.
Thank you, Victoria, for a nice introduction. When I was offered the opportunity to speak at this conference, I was told like, hey, everybody knows about beacons, but only few people actually know how to use them. So it might not be the worst idea if you could share what you do with them. So in the next couple of minutes, I'll try to share our use case and of course the difficulties that we came across during our 6-year-long experience with Bluetooth low energy beacons. My name is Jan Palas and I'm CTO at AG Info. We are a software company based in Czech Republic. We've been in a business since 1992 and we solely focus on developing software for agriculture. You know, it's not an easy job to be a farmer in the Czech Republic or in the European Union. There are various rules and regulations. For example, you have to keep record of every single operation that you perform in your fields. Furthermore, there are really strict regulations regarding usage of different fertilizers or plant protection products. For example, you can use one fertilizer on one field, but you can't use it on another field because it's too slopey, or you can't use it on the third field because it's too close to a river or a pond, or you can't use it on the fourth field because you have used another product 2 weeks ago, and it is forbidden to use those two products so close together. So, for example, one of our software products helps farmers with that, so that they don't have to remember all of these regulatory jungle, and they can rely on our software. They can spend more time in the fields and less back in the office. But most importantly, especially for this conference, back in 2018, we entered the field of telematics, and we started tracking movement of agriculture machinery. Not just the movement, we want to identify fields that are being processed. How much time did it take, for example, to harvest a field? How many hectares were harvested? How much fuel was consumed on every single field? And I have to mention that since the very beginning, we've been relying on FLESPI, that we find as a really useful tool. We don't have to care about different devices, different protocols, different firmware updates. It allows us to focus on the core of our business. Actually, a colleague of mine and one of our software engineers who is actually sitting here in the hall is driving this harvester. So after the lecture, if you want to gain some true agriculture knowledge, do not hesitate to contact him. But tracking the movement of tractors or various agriculture machinery is just one part for us. The key part for us is to identify which job is being done in which field. And in agriculture, the key to this is to identify a trailer. The trailer decides the job type. I mean, by job type, I mean like whether it is plowing, seeding, harvesting, or spraying. So we want to somehow detect which trailer is connected to which tractor at what time. For sure, you have many possibilities how to achieve that. For example, you can install a simple keyboard in a cabin of a tractor and tell your drivers to put in some number code to identify the work that they are doing. But of course, this is not an error-prone. Riders are humans, humans make errors. And in agriculture especially, humans make errors on purpose. So this was not an option. So we came up to an idea so that we mount a beacon to a trailer, and then we somehow then detect signal from the beacon, and we know which trailer is connected to a tractor, whether it is seeder, sprayer, and so on. This is the photo of one of our very first installments. This is a beacon mounted to a very nice, quite old seeder. For your better imagination, how it looks in a practice. And as I told you, the idea is pretty simple. Beacon is mounted to a trailer. There is a GPS device inside the tractor's cabin. A beacon sends the signal to GPS device. GPS device sends the messages to FLASP servers. We receive the messages from there, and then we somehow then run our algorithms to detect and identify the trailer. During our 6-year-long journey with beacons, we have tried quite many models. None of those is 100% perfect for our purposes. Each one of them has its pros and cons, but maybe we are now getting quite close to a perfect device. But before we started mounting beacons to trailers with high numbers, we had to carefully think about their configuration in order to preserve beacon's battery as much as possible. And we knew that we would face quite a challenging environment. Yes, we do have winters in Czech Republic, and winter is bad for batteries, that's for sure. And it is so impossible to think or to tell our customers to dismantle or demount the beacons from the trailers for winter period when the trailers are just standing, lying in the yard, and then mounted back in a spring. Our customers has dozens or even hundreds of beacons, and it is impossible to think that they would dismantle the beacons for winter period. Another challenge for us was high pressure water. In agriculture, things get dirty, sometimes really dirty, and you have to clean them afterwards. No matter whether it is beacon mounted or not, you use high pressure water because it's the only efficient way how to achieve that. And of course, the ubiquitous mud that is present everywhere in agriculture, especially when it's raining. When we were testing the first couple of beacons, we mounted them to trailers close to our company, and we were closely monitoring their signal. And I remember myself that I was watching a tractor with a trailer riding in a field from the office, and I was monitoring the signal from the beacon. And suddenly, the signal from beacon stopped. So I went to a car and drive to the field, and there I discovered that our beacon is buried somewhere somewhere in here, under like half meter of mud. And when you have a half meter of mud, the signal from the beacon is dead. Not dead, but the GPS device has no chance to receive the signal. So knowing all these challenges, we came down to this configuration of the beacons. We are using the maximum possible advertising interval, which is 10 seconds. It's not the longer is not possible. This is really okay for us because the trailer stays connected or attached to the tractor for really long time. And we use the transmit power of 0 dBm. Even with such, I would call it, quite conservative settings, we were able to achieve the battery life of just 2 years because of the winter, high pressure water, mud, and also I didn't mention huge vibrations that are happening on a trailer. This is not a perfect number. And there is also one important thing I want to mention, and it is that our customers don't like beacons with a sealed battery. When you have a life expectancy of a battery for just 2 years, it was really hard to explain to our customers that after 2 years, they have to throw away the old beacon and buy a new one from us. But the idea of tracking trailers or identifying trailers is pretty simple, and probably you would guess that the task of identifying the trailer is easy peasy, isn't it? Well, no. And now I will show you why. We have come across a couple of scenarios that we didn't thought beforehand, and we had to solve them on the fly. This is an aerial photo of a typical Czech farm. There is a lot of mess in the yard, but also there are many trailers parked in the yard. Let me highlight them for you. So in a farm, there are many trailers. All the trailers have beacons mounted on them. And a typical trip of a tractor starts in the yard of the farm, spends some time, I don't know, 20 minutes, 30 minutes inside of the yard of the farm, and then the tractor goes to the field. And within those 20, 30 minutes, you, of course, detect the signal from all those beacons that are parked in the yard of the farm, and it creates a lot of mess for your algorithm and for your trailer detection. How do we solve this situation? We have to somehow, be it manually or automatically, detect the regions around the yards of the farms, and we just ignore all the detections that are made within those regions. We just throw them away and don't care about them at all. Another challenging scenario for us was changing a trailer on the fly. You know, there is quite a common habit in agriculture that drivers don't shut down engines of tractor. They just stop for a break, but motor is still running. So if you had an idea that somehow would shut down an engine, disconnect the trailer, mount another one, so you would have one trip with the first trailer and the second trip with another trailer. That was not possible. For us, the all work is just one trip, and we have to, or our algorithm has to somehow detect the moment when when we stopped receiving signal from the first beacon and we started receiving signal from the second beacon, meaning second trailer. Then we end the first trip via our algorithm and start a new one. That's we have to continuously monitor the signal from the beacon. Any case, the trailer was changed. We start a new trip with another trailer and possibly another job type. The third scenario would be this. During harvesting time, there are many tractors in the fields and many harvesters and, of course, many trailers. All of them are having a GPS device inside, and all of them are receiving signal from all the trailers, all the beacons that are present in the field. I told you that we use transmit power of 0 dBm. That's quite strong. We have to use that because of the mud and so on. So the beacon emits its signals for quite far. How do we solve this situation? Just before I told you about switching a trailer, but we forbid, not to drivers, but to our algorithm, we forbid switching a trailer inside of the field boundary because of such situation. And typically, in life, you don't switch trailers inside of the field. You go back to the yard, or at least to the edge of the field. So when the tractor is working inside of the field, we don't allow switching a trailer. We just ignore the signal from other beacons that are being received. The last scenario I want to mention is this. I call it tractors and trailers having a good time together. I told you that it is quite a common habit that the drivers don't shut down the engine. And it is indeed true, even if they want to have a break and go to grab a beer, 2, 3, I don't know, maybe 4 with their friends. They just stop their tractors at the edge of the field and they go to the pub. Engine is still running. Believe me, this is a common habit, at least in the Czech Republic, and I believe you that it is pretty same in Central European and Eastern European countries. So how to, and of course, all of the tractors have the trailers connected. Beacons are mounted to all of those trailers. How to solve these situations? So by default, we discard all beacon detections that are detected while the tractor isn't on move. So our algorithm works only with beacons detections while the tractor is moving. That's how we solve such a situation. So those were 4 scenarios, I believe, at least somehow interesting. First, we thought that it would be easy just to identify a trailer that is connected to a tractor. Now it's been more than 6 years since we started doing that, and still there are many surprises for us. Even if we have such an easy task just to identify a trailer, it's not that easy as it might sound. That's all for myself. If you have any questions, you are more than welcome to ask right now or even later in the day. I would be more than happy to answer. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Jan, for the insightful presentation. I can totally relate to the winter picture here, so thank you for the challenges and insights you shared. I see that we have 1 minute, maybe 1 question from the audience, if there is. Over there, please.
So I think everybody who has worked in this field of BLE technology can like relate to the problems that you mentioned. And my question is really like some statistics. Maybe you can share like how confident are you about the identification of the trailers? I mean, like, are you like 80% accurate? Are you 90% accurate? And how you solve the rest missing pieces?
I would guess it would be somewhere around like 95% for sure, not 100%, but it is quite difficult to have a precise number because we can't monitor all beacons out there. It's impossible. Yeah, but I would have this estimation.
Perfect, then.
Someone was there? Someone there is raising his hand?
Okay, yeah, maybe 1 more, and that's it.
I'll do it quick.
Yeah, sure thing.
So my question is like you could not use proximity meter to understand, you know, the trailer maybe if it's mounted. Like how far is from the
Of course, we take into RSSE into account, but it's just the helper for us. It's not the thing that you can 100% rely on. It's a helper in our algorithm, but not 100% sure. Thank you for your question.
Perfect. Thank you once again, Jan. Let's give another round of applause.